Hi, everybody. Today I'm going to talk to you about a book titled The Scream, and the author is Susan Blackaby, and the illustrator is Philomena O'Neill. And this is a book from the Kim and Lizzie series. And if it's the first time you're reading a book from this series, Kim and Lizzie are best friends, and you can see them here on the title page. And in this book, we also have Lizzie's grandma, who's here on the cover, and she also has a cat named Babs. So I'm going to open up to page 2, and on this page, we're going to learn that Lizzie has to go to the doctor for a checkup and a shot. Have you ever gone to the doctor for a checkup before? So a checkup is when you go to the doctor when you're actually healthy, and it's to see how well you're growing, how tall you're getting, and usually you go about once a year. So that's what Lizzie has to do today in this book. And if you take a look at the illustration on page 3, and you look at Lizzie's expression on her face and her body language, how do you think she's feeling about having to go for a checkup? If you're thinking that she didn't want to go, you're right. And the reason is she's nervous about having to get a shot because she's afraid that it's going to hurt. Now as the book goes along, here on page 5, we get introduced to Graham's cat, Babs. And Babs tries to jump up on the counter. And while she does that, Grandma screams really, really loud to try to stop her. And in the book, you're going to read that she screamed so loud that it rattled the windows. Okay? And rattled means that it shook. And if you think about sometimes a lot of baby toys, they have a rattle in them so that when the babies shake them and play with them, it makes noise. So imagine that. Grandma screamed so loud that the window shook in her house. So now when all this was going on, Babs actually gave Grandma a scratch on her arm. You can kind of see that happening there in the illustration. But Grandma said that she was yelling so loudly that she didn't feel a thing. So now we're going to skip ahead a few pages. And here on page 9, there's Grandma, and Lizzie's helping her get a Band-Aid for her arm. And she says that they're all really good screamers in their family. I think this might be giving Lizzie an idea, but I wonder if it maybe has anything to do also with the title of the book. Okay, so here on page 10, on page 11, they're at the doctor's, okay? And before that, on page 10, Lizzie leans onto Grandma's arm and says that she finally agrees that she'll go to the doctor, even though she's not really happy about it. And Grandma responds and tells her, "I love you, kiddo." Have you ever heard the word kiddo before? It has the word kid in it, and it's just kind of a nickname that you can use to refer to someone who's younger, okay? And that's what Grandma's doing there. Okay, so now it's your turn to start reading and find out what happened to Lizzie when she went to the doctor's for a checkup and had to get her shot.